Hey guys, welcome to Clockwork, Noodles for another episode of Ayuna in Japan, reading my blogs. So this is The Journey Begins, where I am reading through my blog posts on my life in Japan. Now this is the first one where I'm going to have to go off script because I forgot to do my interview, what questions I got asked, and mainly it's because at the time I was advised not to really do that until I was in Japan and firmly away kind of thing. So I am going to do this one on the questions I was asked, how I responded, and just generally what I thought about the interview as a whole. So my interview took place at the Embassy of London, and I had a time. At your time slot, you will have other people. With me, there was another person. Both of us actually got on a jet program, so I'm very happy about this. She had done it before, but she came back because of COVID, and then she went out again. So honestly, very happy that both of us in my time slot got it. I was interviewed the first day. The interviews take place over an entire month. So it's a long process. You won't hear back at any point, really. It's a long one. So be prepared that you're going to have to be in for the waiting game. My interview, mine did overrun. So the people before me were overrunning a little. So we initially put our things away. So all your stuff goes away in a little locker. Don't bring a lot of luggage because you just don't have the space for it. It goes in a little locker. I think I brought my notepad, my phone mainly, because my mum was in the area and we were going to do something in London afterwards. So she took all my stuff, like my bag and my shoes, because I had a change of shoes so I could look very smart and presentable. You might want to plan it out. Maybe you want to see someone afterwards. I would probably time it up, especially if you're not local to London. There's a lot of things you can do in London, but just make the most of it. Have a bit of fun like I did. So you're going to want to put your stuff away, and then your first chunk is to talk to another ALT. They are an ex-ALT. Normally they've had experience on the program. My ALT was absolutely amazing. He was great, and I had some questions I wanted to ask, and this, they say it's not part of the interview, but I would probably bet that they are at least going, oh, what did you think, kind of thing, like nudge nudge nudge, did they ask questions, what kind of thing were they after, kind of thing. I know they say it's off the record at that point, but I don't know, I'm quite skeptical. I'm like one of those people that I'm like, is it really though? Do I believe you? Because I think it's a good way of actually finding out what the candidates are like outside of an interview. It's meant to make you relax too, but again, it's a good chance for you to ask questions. I had some questions. Generally, the speech was great. He was actually in, was he in Nagasaki? I feel like he might have been an ex-Nagasaki jet, and at that point I didn't realize that would mean anything to me, but it was actually roughly in the area I am. So it was good to just see his experiences, ask him how he felt the program had gone. I believe he'd done like 3 years on the program and then decided it was time to come back because he had stuff he wanted to press on with, but it was very good to talk to them. Now, my interview was nerve-wracking. I think it was about 5 minutes. We did overrun. I remember there being an overrun. Maybe it was 15 minutes as a whole. But the main thing overran because they had the people before me overran and then we overran. So do prepare that it may not happen exactly on time. The first question they asked me was a bog standard one, just why the jet program? Why did you choose this one? Because there are other programs too. I honestly thought I bungled my interview. I got on the alternate list, so maybe I did bungle it, but not as bad as I thought I did. So they asked me what book would I take with me and bring to present to the class, kind of thing. I chose The Amazing Maurice by Terry Pratchett because I think it's fun. It's also designed for kids, so it's a bit of a younger read. Very good read. I even recommend you guys to read The Amazing Maurice. It's funny. It's about a cat who trains his army of rodents to essentially commit crimes in a fun way, of course. And it's a fantastic read. The next thing they asked me was about my choices. So why did you choose these particular prefectures? I had Kyoto, Osaka, Yamanashi. I essentially was like, well, A, history. B, I really want to be close roughly to good networks and good being able to explore kind of thing. But I also like the fact that these have history and I've done a lot of research, and I think I even told them I had interest in Hiroki Sawano and like music and stuff, and I was like, well, if I'm in a good place I am able to get to these concerts and things. It's generally just a question to see if you know anything about Japan, because some people are just going to be there going, oh, I don't know anything about Japan, I'm just going to put Tokyo. So they just want to know why. It's debatable whether they actually have any weight to where you end up. I've heard both sides of the stories where people get what they want, some people don't. I didn't get any of my requests, but maybe that was for the best because you don't know what the entirety of Japan has got to offer. So I feel like it might be a thing where they want to know what you think, but they might talk to you and see something where you might fit better somewhere else. Honestly, it's just to get you to talk. Make sure you're just talking, make sure you're having fun with it. They started to throw me, I will say. I feel like mine in particular was thrown. They asked me what I would do if somebody asked me about Brexit and how I felt about Brexit. And I feel like this is just to see how you'd react to a bit more of a controversial question. Honestly, I tried to play it off. I was just like, well, you know what? It's something that happened. It's not something that I particularly wanted, but you know, it's the majority vote kind of thing. Essentially said that I'd just be pretty neutral as it is, which I think is probably the safe bet. They don't want someone too extreme. It's just how you're going to handle a question like that. Are you going to panic kind of thing? The thing that I thought I messed up was when they asked me, so I'm a manager. At the time I was in a manager's position. They were like, why would you want to throw away a manager's position to go back to essentially a support role? And well, I told the truth. I wasn't feeling it. I'd been working in retail for 10 years and I actually wanted to have less responsibility. When you're a manager, everything, even at home, you are worried about everything. Everybody relies on you. You have to make sure you know what you're doing. It's stressful. A lot of people want you for things and you can't relax. You're always constantly worried. And if someone is sick, you're in. So even on your days off, it's stress. In the ART job, you are a support role. I would say now I'm more like T1, so I am technically more in charge again, which it is what it is. But you, most of the time, the ALT role is a support role. You are there to aid your counterpart, the Japanese teacher of English. You're there to help them create an easier way of teaching English, a fun way of doing English, someone who can bring in that authenticness, somebody who knows the language. You're there to bolster and be with them. Now, T1, T2, T1, basically you're in charge of the class, the JTE supports you, and T2 the other way around. In my role, I have 3 schools. I am T1 in 2 of them now. One of them I am T2, and I love that because it's very stressful being T1. I panic a lot. I worry if I'm doing the right thing. I always want them to get the most, and I always constantly worry that they didn't get anything from it, or how much did they understand, how much is it helping. But it's an interesting role when you do get it. You won't know what's going to be expected of you until it happens. What do these people want? Do they want you to take a big role? Do they want you to step back? It's a learning curve, and if you have multiple schools like me, every school is different, and you learn that pretty quickly. Every single school operates in a very different way. But that's essentially that question. They wanted to essentially know why I would want to step down, especially with the money as well. I took a pay dip, one hell of a pay dip. But to me, it wasn't really about the money. And I'm not here in Japan to save money. I'm essentially just spending it when I have it because I want to explore. And with the yen so weak, you're not really going to be saving much unless you can. Obviously, there are people out there who do come across and try to save, but the yen is very weak. The last question they asked me definitely threw me, and I really felt crap after this. They asked me about my age. So I applied later. I did 10 years of retail, so obviously I'm slightly later. The JET program mainly seems to be geared towards people who are fresh out of university, want their first job. And believe me, it's a very well-paid first job now that they've had a pay increase. The pay increase hits tomorrow as I am recording. With the pay increase, it's a fantastic first job in a beautiful new country that you can learn so much with. You get a lot from it. And honestly, people coming out of university, I would say if you don't know what you're doing and you're not opposed to even just doing a year, give it a shot to see how it goes because you'll learn a lot about yourself. But they asked me essentially about my age and whether I thought I was too old for the role. It threw me. Okay, I thought they were really like digging in about the age thing, and well, I'm here, so obviously it's not a problem. And there are slightly older jets on the program. Don't let your age put you off. And I want to see this because I see it all the time on Reddit and people going, "Oh, I'm too old to listen." People will say, "Oh yeah, you're too old." Don't listen to that. As long as you have the motivation, you have the means to make it happen, and you have the heart to do the right thing, and you want to do, teach, and you want to be there. I don't think it matters. They want to see if you are essentially going to be a flight risk, essentially. They're worried that if you're older, you're going to want to go back kind of thing. But if you can say, well, actually, I'm looking to settle down over there. Maybe I'm looking to start a life over there. I have reasons to be there. I think if you have the right, reasoning behind coming, I don't think there's an issue. I've heard of many different questions during this period of what people were asked during their interviews. Essentially, you need to just show them, A, these are my reasons why. This is why I love Japan. These are the things that I really enjoy. B, this is what I hope to bring to the classroom. This is what I want to teach. This is what I want to gain from it. And of course, you want to say, hey, I want to stay here for a fair bit of time. This is when they're going to ask you if you have any hobbies, what you enjoy doing at your spare time. They did ask me what my interests in Japan were. And obviously, I like music. I love Japanese music. I wanted to go around and travel as well. But I also said, like, I like history. I really enjoy Japanese folklore and culture. So I want to get to go see these places in real. I have a lot of reasons to be here. Like, I find a lot of interest in the food. I do blogs over here. I take pictures over here. Essentially, you need to prove that you're not just going to break contract. Their biggest worry is breaking contract. It really messes up the school if they suddenly lose an ALT. The BOE, the Board of Education of that prefecture, loses money, and as well, it's stressful for them because another ALT will get pulled in to do that, depending on the prefecture. So this is your chance to show them a bit about you, and you can also ask questions. They asked me at the end if I had any questions. I think I panicked. I panicked. I was too hung up on the age question. I think I just doubled down on the fact that I didn't think I was too old. I got the alternate waiting list, but I was pulled up very quickly. So I got a call within a week. So I don't feel like I bungled it too much, but at the time I felt awful. I got out the interview. My mum was like, "You okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine." No, I'm not fine. I had ramen though. I went to have ramen in Leicester Square after that at Yokocho. Very good. I do recommend you check out Yokocho at some point. Quite expensive though, but worth it. They do ramen from around the prefecture. So if you're ever in London, check out that place. But hopefully that's helped you a little bit with the questions that I got asked and how it ran. I obviously, it's in two segments. You have the ALT chat at the first bit, and then you go into your interview on your own. There will be another candidate with you. Both of us got in, so I'm very happy. I don't know where they went. They went up north somewhere. I didn't really stay in contact with them because again I met them like once, but then I saw them very briefly at orientation. But we both got in. We 100% both got in, so that was great for me. And I got to again talk to her about her experiences because she was also an ex-jet. She was with a different company though. She was with Interact, and she told me how that she during COVID it was kind of too scary, so they came back. She went across with family, which is really, I love that because I think again if you're going across with family, you might stay out there forever. I honestly do wish that at the time I had like a partner or something, and I'm like, bruh, do you want to go and live in Japan just with me? I don't know. That would have been fun. And again, it gives you, the job can get tough. So how are you going to make yourself feel better when the job gets really tough kind of thing? But honestly, it's a great experience. And if it is your first job, honestly, good luck. I hope that this helps. If you have questions about the interview, do let me know. I'll try and help you. But obviously, every ALT gets different questions. Every interview is different. So this is probably not even like useful anymore, but you get an idea of what people ask. So thank you so much. I hope this has been helpful. Bye guys.